let's get rolling. How you doing? Facebook, YouTube. I'm trying to get my camera set up right now. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, those of you guys who watch football. I don't really watch football or any of that stuff. I mainly just watch basketball. So if you're hopping on, or if in case you're wondering, what's going on Instagram, live here. If it's your first time hopping on, I'm going to be looking at 3 different cameras. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and everything else. LinkedIn now, I got that hooked up as well. And for my personal camera, that way I can get not just the live version, but I can get the filmed version too, which has a little bit better quality because I'm on I think the iPhone 7 and I have a cracked screen, which is why you might see a little bit of streaks on the Facebook, YouTube video. Instagram, you guys are fine. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit while I pull some stuff up, like my little what is it? A little script that I kind of go through, kind of keeps me in line, or gives me an outline of what to talk about or what to say, and that way I'm not rambling for too long, and kind of gives me an idea of what's happening next. It's almost like my choreography, but I learned it in one night and I'm trying to figure it out as I go. Okay, got the chat is up here. Okay, good. Alright, cool. So let me get started. Those of you guys are hopping on. What up, Ray? Thanks for hopping on. I think I'm gonna be answering your question today. I didn't get to do like a personal message to you as I had mentioned, but I'll get to it. Hopefully it helps. And I'm not sure if I tried playing your message again. For some reason it wasn't playing. But if I understood it, correct me if I'm wrong. It's like how do you battle other b-boys that have more moves than you? So let me know if that's the right question, or if I completely just fucked up the question. Okay, so cool. Everything is up. Yeah. So it's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are doing some Super Bowl party kind of stuff, but I've committed to try to do one Q&A session a week on Sundays. It's pretty much my freest day and my most chill day. So let's get right onto it. Gonna go right into to my little outline that I got here. So welcome to the Move, because I'm also filming it because I'm also putting it out as a podcast too. So welcome to the Move, Groove, Grow podcast on Emery TV. So whether you're watching this or listening to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or if you're guys watching it live, welcome. I'm Emery. If it's your first time hopping on here, I'm a professional dancer and entrepreneur. I've been dancing for almost over 15 years, and have a small company called Vision Paradox. Today I'm going to be answering questions on social media, on dance, social media marketing, and personal development. Like I said earlier, a couple of these questions I've answered. I guess some of these questions that I get are sent through DMs, and a lot of them through comments and whatnot. And I've put it into a document where I've been answering it, as much as I can throughout the months, and I've been actually liking it, doing this Q&A format. So we're live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to put comment down below if you want me to expand on some questions, or if you have questions on your own, just drop it down in the chat. So before I get started, if you like any of this stuff where I answer your questions, and even share some of the tutorials with you guys, make sure you guys check out the main channel where this is being broadcasted at Emery TV. Links in the description if you guys are on Instagram, and the links should be links in the bio if you're on Instagram, links in the description if you are on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook. I'm getting everything so fucking mixed up right now, so you guys can have a listen and keep up to date with everything that I'm putting out there. So the first round of questions is going to be around dance, which is generally the first thing I get into, because I built majority of my life I've been a dancer, and a lot of questions I get is around the topic of dance. So let's get into it. Perfect. Of all times, there's the questions I was looking for. Okay, so let's see. We should make sure that these weren't answered already. Okay, so first question I'm gonna answer is Ray's question that he sent me on the DMs. Is how do I battle against a b-boy who has more moves than me? I mean, to be honest, I feel like I've battled b-boys that have a lot more moves than me. I think one of the things that has helped me is my character and kind of confidence and bravado when I battle. Because when you're battling, it's not just the amount of moves. I mean, the skill has to speak for itself. So it's not just. I think just to backtrack. I think first off, you have to have your skills have to be really good. Whatever you have and whatever you're working with has to be good. Like you have to be able to properly execute it. You have to be able to be clean, no awkwardness. Because considering that your repertoire is limited, you want to be able to execute it properly. And then on top of that is your character, who you are when you're dancing, who you are when you're battling other people. Because if you're just going in there doing a move almost like a choreography in a sense, then it's gonna come off as this, you're just going in there just throwing in moves without any real character, so to speak. So I think that's one of the things. Because when it comes to battling, it's not just the skills. I mean, but skills is obviously like 80% of it, but like it's a battle. A lot of it is psychology. If you can psych your opponent out and make them lose their confidence in the middle of it, I think you have the upper hand. Because it's all about like who has the stronger state of mind in the battle. And I've battled people where I kind of felt like I was the underdog, and for some reason I win the fucking round. I've beaten people that I knew should have fucking beat me. Yeah, Dana, tell your friends to join. I would appreciate that. So, shouts out to Dana on YouTube. So yeah, I've going back to it. I've beaten people that I knew should have fucking murdered me in this battle, and I was just somehow I make it to the round. And I think it just comes back to doing the best with what you have, and then owning it and presenting it with the utmost confidence. Because if you are exuding a fear of losing because of lacking, then you've already lost the battle. But to add to that, obviously, once you mastered these certain set of moves, or you obviously want to keep growing your skills, and that's something I'm continuing to do. I'm realizing on some of the moves I used to do, I don't even really use that much anymore. So I'm trying to revive that. So having a move list, like I had the pleasure of training some people with some people on at a session, and I see them like have a list of moves, and then they kind of like figure out a way to put it to put all these moves together. So these messages come pretty whack. Okay, this guy also comes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you pretty much try to put all these moves together. Try to put all these moves together, and they come up with something new. So hope that answers your questions. Work with what you have, present it with the most confidence you have, and then continue building your skill set. So I'm getting a lot of action right now on YouTube. So so if you're just hopping on, I am answering your questions on dance, and then the next part is social media, since I run a social media company, and also personal development. So shouts out to Leba and Dana, really showing a lot of action on the YouTube. Yes, I do answer comments, but I'm also answering questions that I've been getting through DMs and comments. So next question that I've gotten that I got is I forgot to put the name on this one, but is I hate going to dance class, because I feel fat, awkward, bad at dancing, and self-conscious. How do I get past this and start looking forward to it? I think everyone, when they're starting something, when it comes to anything really, I know for you it's particularly taking dance classes, there's always going to be that awkward phase where you just feel like you suck, that you shouldn't be there, why are you doing this? And I think the important thing is to stick it out, because that's part of making your move and then eventually finding your groove into it, so to speak. I don't know how long you've been taking classes, but I would suggest you make a commitment to yourself to at least stick to it for at least 3 months. And not only that, maybe I don't know what kind of how you are with your personality, if you're like introverted or extroverted, but I would say try to make a connection with the instructor, or with or with anyone else in the class, because it's one thing to make a commitment with yourself, but the journey is going to be a little bit more. I think the journey is going to be a little bit more enjoyable if you have someone that's supporting you along the way. So the dance instructor, someone in the class, or even someone you love. But we all know, I don't know, I have a fucking nail cutter in my hand. But we all know that sometimes the people we love aren't exactly our biggest supporters. So that's why I'm saying focus. Try to get a support group within the class. But I mean, the fact that you're going is huge kudos to you. So just keep going. So, I think I did a fairly. So shouts out to everyone on the replay. Shouts out to everyone hopping in and out. So if you're barely hopping on, I am answering questions on dance, social media, and personal development. If it's your first time checking me out, I'm a professional dancer and an entrepreneur. I've been dancing for over 15 years, and I run a social media company working with I'm not going to go with the number, but working with companies, helping them make sales. Just to give you guys a little bit of context of thanks, Raymond. Hi, Gracie. Thanks for hopping on. Just to give you a little context of me answering, I'm getting so distracted with all the chat happening. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. So next question. So, have you ever danced so hard you had to take your shoes off? I know I've ran like hard and then my feet feel like burning, but I don't know if I've ever experienced that. I know. No, to be honest, maybe I have, maybe I didn't, but it's definitely not something I experienced often. You definitely experience soreness after doing 3 shows a day on tour, so that's another thing. But that was an interesting question. All right, cool. So got any questions here? I'm just gonna look at what is going on with all this chat. There you go. Okay, so got any questions for me on dance? Feel free to drop them now. So again, shouts out to you, Ray. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Scott, for hopping on Instagram. I'm going like back and forth because my chat is right here and Instagram chat is right here. Okay, so any questions? No, I should sing. I'm not a singer. I have a unique voice. Thanks, I appreciate that. Dana, is it Liba? Liba, thanks. Hey, MVS Crest. On Twitch, I'm doing quite well. I forgot I was also streaming on Twitch. Appreciate you being on. Okay, Liba. Thanks for helping me saying your name. So close yet so far away. I hope that's answered your question. We're answering your questions. How do I look like Rihanna? I'm getting some interesting comments here. So I'm going to move on to the next segment of answering questions. If you're barely hopping on, so just to give a little bit more context, again, just to reframe everything, I'm from the US. I'm answering questions on dance, social media, and personal development. I just finished the segment on dance. Now I'm going to be focusing on social media, answering some questions on social media marketing, because I run a social media company, and I get a lot of questions of this, especially with a lot of dancers or a lot of entertainers, since I live in LA, on building their personal brand. And some of the companies and boutique shops that we work here, I get into a lot of these same meetings, and a lot of these meetings have the same questions, or rather, and I feel like answering them and sharing them here will help you guys. So before I get into the next round, I just want to give a huge promotion on my Section YouTube channel. I recently released a backlog vlog, which is a vlog that was released that I filmed like a year ago. I'm just catching up, but in my second channel, you get to see a lot more of the behind the scenes stuff, like rehearsals, business meetings, family life, all this stuff. So links in the bio on IG or in the description on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. So again, the next round of questions is going to be around social media marketing. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to drop it down. I'll be answering them right after I answer these preset questions that I picked up from the DMs. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. So where can I find some? Oh, I'm gonna get to that. Okay, I'm gonna go answer that question real quick. I'll answer that question after, in terms of the regarding to the questions on breaking clothing, Raymond. So I'll get that after I answer these social media questions. So first question in social media marketing is: would you rather have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube or 100,000 followers on Instagram? Ooh, that's a good question. Comment down below what you guys would rather have. What up, Anna, for hopping on? Appreciate you guys. Maxine's not on the live anymore. Today she's gonna be hopping on when she comes to LA. So I would rather have. For me, I would much rather have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, because I like doing video. I like filming stuff. I feel like there's much more I can do in the long term over Instagram. That's just me. That's according to my goals, which is I like creating video content. I like doing Q&A content, tutorials. So it makes more sense. Someone who is a model or someone who's into fashion, it would make much more sense to focus all your efforts on Instagram, because obviously it's a very visual platform. So for me, definitely 100,000 subscribers, hands down. Not only that, the fact that there's monetization, albeit that the AdSense revenue isn't that great anymore on YouTube, but there are things you can do with brand deals. So next question. Okay, it's another YouTube question. So do you think YouTube is the best way to create a big social media following? I think right now, at this very moment, I think TikTok, as much as cringy as it is for a lot of people, is a great place to start building a social media following, because, and same thing with LinkedIn, because there's no algorithm put in place right now. It's all pretty much chronological, no algorithm. So if you post it, for sure anyone who's following you is going to see it, and the more you post on it, it's literally like a new gold rush. Okay, so the more you post on it, the more likely you're going to be seen, and obviously the content has to be good, it has to be entertaining, but don't let that be the reason you don't post anything at all. Cool. So TikTok and LinkedIn, pretty dope. Do I think YouTube is the best way? No, I think it's one way to build a social media following, because you can do things like this: live show behind the scenes, you can do vlogs, you can do Q&As, you do video podcasts, tutorials. You just got to be creative in how you want to present it. But it really depends, not automatically, it really depends on what your end goal is and what you want to do with that following. So yeah. Next question, last question for social media marketing, I'm breezing through this, is, I think I answered this one. No, I think I tried to answer this last week, but I had just read that Kobe Bryant passed. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. And I couldn't get through it. So I'm a 22-year-old freelancer. How much time should I spend getting new projects, aka marketing, and doing the actual work? Ooh, okay. Because I go through this, because I handle a lot of the marketing and the work with my company. I think it should be, it depends. Man, it's really hard to say. But I want to say like 70-30, like 70%, putting in time to make sure you have a quality product for your clients, because you don't want to spend too much time on marketing, getting new clients, and you have no time to actually do the work. So I'd say 70% of your time should be creating a kick-ass product for the people you're creating for. Okay, for the people who hired you and have already invested their money into you. 70% should be that. 30% should be focused on trying to get new business, new clients, because you don't want to go into this whole thing that we used to do with Vision Paradox, a feast and famine kind of thing, where you feast, get a lot of money, get paid, and then all of a sudden contracts done, and you're in famine mode, and they're like there's nothing else, and you're desperate to try to get clients. So you want to have a nice little overlap of working on client shit, but at the same time getting new shit at the same time. So 70-30, I think it would be the best split between how often you should be doing the work versus marketing. Cool. So I'm gonna be hopping on the chat real quick, breeze through those questions. Again, huge shout out to Liba, Gracie, Ray. Appreciate you being on. Yeah, it is sad what happened to Kobe. I went to his memorial this past Tuesday. I didn't think it would hit me that hard, because I don't know him personally, but I was really affected and inspired by his work and his mentality and his approach to his craft, and I took a lot of it to my craft in dancing and building a business. And there's a certain relentlessness that he had that I feel like I'm still chasing to try to become, but more adapted to who I am as a person. And he inspired me to start doing what I call 4 a.m. club, where I wake up. He's the reason why I wake up at 4 a.m. to get work done, because that added extra mile goes a long way. So cool. So I'm gonna answer your questions. Where can I find some breaking clothing? I don't think there's any specific breaking clothing anymore. If you want to look like the traditional, like our old school, like 80s b-boys, Pumas and all that stuff, but a lot of b-boys are more like athletes nowadays. So a lot of them, I think, wear joggers, sweats, and some people, I don't know if anyone ever wears jeans to battles anymore. What else is there? What is it? The long sleeve Under Armour, and some people wear these really like almost faux turtlenecks. Windbreakers, like Nike windbreakers, are fashionable, yet it's also very practical, especially if you're doing backspins or we're doing some power moves. For shoes, for me, I'm like the worst person when it comes to shoes, when it comes for breaking or hip hop fashion, because I'm like, for me, I have the mentality of like, I'm gonna fuck it up anyway, so why should I spend $100 on shoes I'm gonna fuck up when I'm breaking? So if I'm gonna buy $100 on shoes, I'm gonna fucking just rock it. But for shoes, the ones I like rocking right now are the Nike Huaraches, because those were given to me as a gift. But for me, anything that's comfortable and light and practical. But that's just me. For the main things, if you're trying to be fashionable as well, is make sure that's light, flexible, and you don't mind fucking it up. So yeah, graffiti shirts are hey Roy Zine, yes, I'm still here. Yes, I like graffiti shirts. Anything that makes you feel, I think anything that makes you feel good and comfortable when you're dancing is, that's it. That's the most important thing. Everyone has their own definition of like fashion, and I think one of the things that I've never really embraced as the part of the hip hop culture is looking fresh, having the dopest gear. I just never really cared for it. I just kind of adopted the Steve Jobs mentality, is like, as long as I have things that get the job done and I can rock my moves, that's all that matters to me. Joggers help. Like my girlfriend's doing her job in updating my wardrobe. Shouts out to you, Maxine, if you're watching this. So yeah, those are my thoughts on breaking clothing. Light, but durable. Cool. So any other questions? So yes, Roisin, if I'm still here. Shouts out to everyone who's been watching in and out. I know you guys don't want to watch you talk in head for like an hour. Okay. So I hope that helps, Raymond or Ray. I don't know. I'm all of a sudden just calling you Raymond because your YouTube name is Raymond and your Instagram is Ray. Okay, so I'm gonna hop onto the last segment. If I can get my little mini script here. Let's see. Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna get a little bit of coffee, and we're gonna finish it out with these last 3 questions on personal development. I just realized I've only been talking to you YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and not my main camera. So, all right. So last questions. Before actually I get into that, if you guys like the question and the content I just shared on social media marketing, make sure you check out my company's Instagram, YouTube, everything, because we share shit on social media. We try to put like super practical tips that we've applied with our clients and try to share with everyone, because not everyone can afford us. We charge like 1,400 to 4,500 a month, and a lot of that really just goes back to the company to make sure my people are paid. But yeah, make sure you give us a follow. So so last round of questions is around personal development. I think this shit is huge because you can't expect to level up with the same mindset. You've got to upgrade your phone. You got to upgrade your mind as much as you upgrade your phone. So the next few questions are surrounded around that. I think personal development made a huge impact on my life, on shifting on perspective, because there's things we know, things we for sure don't know, and things we don't know, which is a whole fucking ton. Okay, so these are questions I got on DM, or mainly DMs. Okay, so like some of them, even I think I was in the middle of conversation with some college students, because I teach some college teams, some foundation stuff, and I found that a lot of them ask a lot of the same stuff, because they it's so fucking weird. They say like, oh, you're a decade older than me, do you have something to share? I'm like, fucking, I'm only like 32, but they're seeing me as ancient already. So okay, so the first question on personal development is, am I naive to want to take 6 months away from work to use my savings and try to find my passion? So I mean, that's both risky and brave at the same time. I think you should do it, because it goes to the. I don't think it's naive, because I always think there's always a way to bounce back. I think a lot of people are too afraid to take the risk to go after what they think, what they want, to discover themselves, because they're way too afraid of the judgment or even the backlash that they're gonna face, or even having to climb their way back. That's a scary thing. I was like, if you fuck up, you have to face that quote unquote scarlet letter in front of everyone. So, but I think if now is a better time than any to go for a risk, because especially since the internet has made it possible for us to put ourselves out there. Access of a lot of things is easier. I think it should, and especially, hey Erica, thanks for hopping on. It doesn't even say that you're on right now. So yeah, I think taking 6 months away from work to use your savings to find your passion is practical. I mean, I've had friends that do it and then go back to their regular job, and I think that's something that if you have a really cool boss that can be cool with you being away for a while, and then have that position for you when you come back, that's an ideal situation. But I always think there's a way to bounce back from risk. And one of my favorite I think exercises from Stoicism is fear setting. A lot of people do goal setting, where like, oh, I want to do this and this and this by the end of the year, but they never think about the worst case scenario when in the process of it. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna reset my camera. Okay. So what would help ease that fear, I think, is to write down every possible worst case scenario. And I've done this when my business is about to go in the red, and I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna pay my people this month? And so I come out like, worst case scenario, write it down, boom, boom, like, I don't know, and then once I have that list, I come up with a plan of like, okay, scenario 1, how do I recover from that? Scenario 2, how do I recover from that? That way, you define what you're afraid of. You find a way to quote unquote have a plan or conquer it. So that way, everything that you're afraid of, there's always a response. There's a contingency plan in the process. It's not to, fear setting isn't to make you be more afraid of going for what you want, to discover your passion, quote unquote, but it's to ground what you want to achieve with practicality and reality. Cool? So that's what I think. So I don't think it's it's naive. I think it's brave, and it's a lot of risk. But within that 6 months, I think you're either gonna make something happen big, or you're gonna have some very valuable lessons to bring back when you go back into the workforce, and and don't let that be the reason you don't try again. Use that as the learnings to get you ready for the next round. Cool, because that would just be what round one in, I guess, your quote unquote battle with to find your passion. So yeah, Ray, respect. Not college, I don't think is for everyone. I mean, I I went to college. I got my bachelor's degree but mainly it was because I was convinced that I wanted to be an animator for the longest time, and part of it was to also appease my mom, like to get the degree. But I worked in the animation and video game industry for a while. Then eventually found that there was more that I wanted to than just sitting behind the desk doing. I'm technically doing it now, but it's more for something I want than what someone else is paying me to do for them. So I wasn't exactly always the best employee because I was kind of a smart ass. So okay, so next question on personal development is, my job is something I do not like to do. I'm getting to be 30, still unable to find my direction and passion. What should I do? So I think you should just quit everything. No, I'm just kidding. I think there's no rush, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are on my age. We're like practically the same age. I'm 32. And it's what my friend calls, like, when you have no direction, you have no vision or quote unquote passion. You're in what my friend calls the discovery zone. You don't know what it is, but that just means there's a lot of possibility for you. There's a lot of opportunity for you to find different things. I think the important thing for you is first be patient with yourself, because it sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to figure it out right now, and that it's really sucking the joy out of finding your passion. Because if you force the issue, you're gonna hate what you find. Okay, but I think so. First off, be patient with yourself. And next is block out a certain time where you allow yourself to do certain things. I don't know, like once a weekend you take a dance class, or once a weekend you try a new hobby and see what clicks with you. And so this is whatever that blocked time is an opportunity for you to taste different things that will then be, might be the catapult of the catalyst of what helps you find your passion. So like I said, once a week, take an art class, take see if you can audit a college course in fucking architecture, something. But be patient with yourself. Block out some time for you to taste different things that you're genuinely interested in. Don't just take something because someone said it made them money, or because whatever bullshit reason. But allow yourself to taste things that you're genuinely interested in. So last question here. Okay, this is a similar question that I get from the 20-year-olds I teach. Is, what is a practical piece of advice for people under 30? Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it to one, because I feel like I might go into a lot, but I might go into a lot anyways. So the first practical piece of advice I would tell them is to drop out of school. No, I'm just kidding. So is to drop out of school like Ray. I think it's to not rush. It's ultimately to be patient. What up, Michaela? If I'm answering questions right now. My last question is, what's a practical piece of advice for people under 30? And if you guys have things you guys want to share too, like, comment down below, because I'm not this is a Q&A with me, but I'd like to hear. I'm not the only one that has answers or opinions on these kind of things. Okay, so going back to it, it's being patient with yourself, because you don't exactly have to have it figured out at a certain point in life, because no one has it figured out. My mom's still trying to figure it out, and she's like in her 50s or 60s. I don't know how old my mom is, and I'm still trying to figure it out. No, everyone's going to be in a perpetual state of figuring it out. You just have to be okay with what you're trying to figure it out. What process is it? Because I'm in the middle of building my business, and I'm always trying to figure out, how do we earn more revenue? How do we be more? How do we, how do I make this more sustainable? Obviously, if we're paying a lot of things, because I'm not gonna lie, running a business means the highs are really good when we get paid, and then the lows are really good when clients have to leave. So that's just like that's the reality of what my figuring it out is. So advice for people under 30 is that, be patient with yourself, and you don't have to have things figured out now. As much as pressure you're feeling it from your parents or from your peers or your teachers, no one's ever gonna have that. So in that sense, that should give you some sort of freedom, or it might even scare you because it's never gonna happen. Especially if you've faced some sort of like anxiety about feeling like you have to have it all together. And there's a certain sense of security you may feel, but you're never really gonna have things figured out, where things are in a state of like, what is this, like calm or all that stuff. There's always gonna be something that's gonna call you to grow or change or evolve. So there's that. And then along with that, some other practical tips are like, take care of your mental health. I know there's a lot of stuff that you're trying to take care of. I think the most important thing is that you take care of yourself, getting quality sleep, making sure you're eating well, taking care of your body, exercising. Like the better you take care of that, the better you can execute and be more productive and effective on your daily grind. Cool. So that's some advice for people under 30. So if you guys, any of my 30 and up people, comment down below. And if you guys got any advice, comment. Feel free to share your knowledge as well, because I'm only just one guy sharing my thoughts with everything. Okay, so that's it. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Shouts out to everyone that hopped in. My cousin, Dan. Oh, Dan from one of my hip hop classes back in the day. Scott, Michaela, Gideon on Instagram. Appreciate you guys. Everyone on YouTube and Twitch. Ray, appreciate you. Appreciate the question. MVS Crust, Gracie, Liba, Dana. Appreciate you guys hopping on as well, making my friggin' chat be a distraction earlier. Hey, every floor is a dance floor. You guys are badass. I appreciate you guys. And that's it. So that's it for today's stream. If you guys got any questions, feel free to hit me up on the DMs or comment down below. If you guys like this, make sure you hit like, subscribe, share this with friends who you think might benefit from it. And yeah, you guys, this is where I get awkward. Have an amazing Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, whatever you guys are doing. Love someone. I still failed on like something inspirational. Share some love to someone today, someone you love, because if it's one thing that I learned this past week from Kobe's passing, is that you never know who's going to go, no matter, how bigger they are in life. So time is borrowed, and appreciate the things you have and the people you have around you. So share some love today, and I'll catch you guys next Sunday. Probably my girlfriend might join the stream, depending on her, if she's in the mood, or she might be sleeping, so on the bed. So we'll see. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Boom. And I'll see you guys soon.